Not the video I thought I would be making today, but nonetheless, very, very interesting. What if I told you in the future you could play a Jurassic Park horror game? An open world, realistic Jurassic Park scary game, if you will. Now, the Jurassic Park / World franchise has been through a few changes over the decades. What started out as a sci-fi thriller with some amazing effects for the time quickly turned into a massive blockbuster with insane set pieces and dinosaur chases with this very convoluted story that nobody can actually describe anymore, but hey, it's dinosaurs. I mean, seriously, what the heck happened in Jurassic World Dominion? But we're not here for movie reviews. Regardless of how you feel about the recent Jurassic World movies, there's no denying the OG Jurassic Park had a vibe of all its own. It was tense, it was slow-paced, and sometimes terrifying thanks to the power of the dinosaurs and the helplessness of us humans. Now, I would never describe Jurassic Park as a horror movie, but it's the kind of thing that would lend itself almost perfectly to a horror game, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, because recent events that Universal probably hoped nobody would notice, we did. We seem to have confirmation that a survival horror game based on the Jurassic Park universe is in development. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Chaos here. Strap in, get some popcorn ready, because this is a pretty wild series of events, and the outcome could actually be the dinosaur-themed horror game that I'm sure all of you have been waiting decades for. And if you haven't, trust me, you have, even though you didn't know it. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in a Jurassic Park horror game at all. Drop a like and let's jump into all of these leaks in this timeline. Make sure you guys are subscribed with those notifications on as well. So, let's start at the beginning of the saga. As a little background, how many of you actually remember the PS4 game called Dreams? Released in early 2020, Dreams was a game creation tool for the PS4. It allowed players to use lots of assets to create their own games, and while official support for the game ended later, well, it will end later this year, millions of players have taken part in the fun. There's actually been some really cool creations published. One of these Dreams-made creations was an extremely well-made Jurassic Park game called Jurassic Park Operations. It was a first-person horror game based on the first movie in the franchise, as well as elements from the book that it was based on. Now, the game was never officially released on Dreams, but the small team of passionate fans released a trailer for the project earlier this year, and it actually looks really good. You probably see it on the screen, and I'll put a link in the description to their channel. Now, there was no release date attached to the project, but it was presumably nearing completion and would have been released on the Dreams library within the next year or so, which would finally give us that Jurassic Park horror game that everybody's been waiting for. But it's a little disappointing that 99% of Jurassic Park video games have been park building simulators or arcade games and not something cool like this. But a few months ago, or a few months after the trailer dropped, the creators got a letter from Universal themselves. Told them, shut it down. Shut it down due to it being so good that people may mistake it for an official release. Now, for context, the creators have always made it very clear it's a fan game, and that they were intending on releasing it entirely for free through the Dreams creation tool. So Universal's argument that people would mistake it for a real game and that it would somehow steal their business was kind of odd. We'll talk more about that later in the video. The creators reportedly even asked Universal if the situation could be resolved if they were to add more disclaimers or watermarks to the game stating it was not an official release. But the company shut those down too with no explanation. Before we move on, if you guys get anything from G2A.com, use code CHAOS. The link is at the top of the description, whether it be Steam codes, PC games. Use that code, get yourself some cash back. Now, before I go any further, I do want to point out that Universal is absolutely within their legal rights as owning the IP to ask the developers of Jurassic Park Operations to shut down production, because at the end of the day, like I said, they own the IP. But what's odd about the takedown letter is that the arguments made for the takedown seem to be completely against the reality of the situation. The developers of Jurassic Park Operations never claimed their game is official, nor did they ever try to monetize it. They made it extremely clear from the very start and on every piece of promotional material, it was a fan-made game that is not associated with the Jurassic Park IP, and yet Universal, they were adamant on shutting it down. The developers even asked Universal if they could officially license the game since that was such an issue for them, but Universal strangely denied that request too. So to reiterate, Universal sent the devs of Jurassic Park Operations a takedown due to the game looking too good and too official to be unlicensed, but when the devs asked if they could license the game, Universal said no. Okay, all right, little fishy, so let's continue. Make the situation even a little stranger. Universal has seemingly never done something like this for other fan-made Jurassic Park projects. There are a lot of Jurassic Park fan games that Universal has never taken any issue with, many of which are still available to this day. So what gives with this one? Why did Jurassic Park Operations get singled out by Universal for a takedown? Well, here's where we slap on our tinfoil hats. What does it all mean? Frankly, I think it means Universal doesn't want this popular fan game interfering with an upcoming project, and while nothing is confirmed yet, I'm going to say I'm 96.8% sure this entire fiasco means there's actually a survival horror Jurassic Park game in development. Again, Universal typically lets fan games exist with no issue. In fact, they've been downright encouraging to many fan projects throughout the years, and since this particular fan game wasn't actually being sold, it's hard to make an argument that it was doing anything wrong. The only explanation I can think of as to why this fan game needed to be taken down while the others got to stay is the simple fact Universal doesn't want the Jurassic Park horror spotlight taken away from them once they announce their new official licensed game. Again, there is no Jurassic Park horror game confirmed right now, but could you think of any other reason for Universal to have singled out this game and shut them down? If you're Universal in this situation and you're working on a Jurassic Park scary horror game, it could be really awkward if it comes out and the people are more impressed with a fan game than the official release, which could prompt them to simply eliminate the possible embarrassment and have that fan game preemptively taken away. Now, I usually try to look at things as balanced as I can with the situation, and I honestly think that's the only logical explanation as to why Universal would do this. So yes, it sucks that an awesome fan game was taken down. It does. I guess the silver lining, though, is that it's kind of confirmation, at least in my mind, that there is a good possibility that a survival horror dinosaur Jurassic Park game could be in development somewhere. Now, as for where it's being developed or when it's coming out, I have no idea. I don't. But after Universal shut down an awesome fan project, if it is true, they need to bring their A game with this one, because if the official Jurassic Park horror game comes out and it's mediocre or underwhelming, people are going to be upset that Universal shut down the fan game in order to prevent comparisons. So either bring your 100% A game on the official release or let the fan game stay up. Now, with all that being said, you've seen demos on the Unreal Engine 5 and all these new gaming engines. Can you imagine a realistic Jurassic Park or Jurassic World horror game? I mean, I don't know what they would add to it to give it that scary tone other than dinosaurs chasing you around, but if they do it right, make the ambiance how it needs to be, I think it could be something absolutely huge, especially if they do it in an open world format to a degree on one of the islands. I'm excited, even though it's not confirmed. I'm excited. So let me know what you guys think. Would you throw out money for something like that? Give me your opinions in the comment section, and I'll see you soon.